Good evening and welcome to the June 8th meeting of the Civil Service Commission. We have roll call, please.
Commissioner Manukian.
Here.
Commissioner Gantis.
Here.
Gregorian.
Here.
Devine.
Here.
And for the record, Commissioner Hatamian is absent.
Okay, next item.
Minutes.
Move to approve, dispense from reading.
Is there a second? We have unanimous consent on that. Next item, please.
Commissioner Manukian.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Commissioner Gantis.
Yes.
Commissioner Gregorian.
Yes.
Devine.
Yes. Let the record show Commissioner Hatamian is here now. And next item, please.
Oral communications.
Okay, I have no cards. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the commission on an item not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll go to the next item, please.
Recruitment and examination status report.
Mr. Doyle.
Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, this is recruitment and examination status report for the recruitment processes that are currently underway. You see roughly a page and a half of recruitment activity here, assigned by each respective analyst. As you can see, moderate to light recruitment load at the moment, but nevertheless, staff is keeping busy with this. If you have any questions on this report or any of these exams, dates, times, be happy to try and answer your questions. This is a note and file item, so that, Mr. Chair.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, please.
Eligible list established.
Mr. Chair, this is a note and file item as well. This is the eligible lists that have been established since our last meeting. We have 3 lists that have been established: a senior budget analyst, senior internal auditor, and integrated waste worker. The first 2 were promotional only, and with very few applicants for both of these. The third, integrated waste worker, was an open recruitment process. You saw well over 100 applicants, and that examination consisted of written exam, performance exam, and an oral board. So with that, we have 23 individuals on that list ready for hire. So with that, if you have any questions, be happy to try and answer them. Again,
Any questions? Mr. Manukian.
Yeah, just a quick question. How many openings did you have for the Public Works?
For integrated waste worker, I'm going to ask Mr. Nersessian, who conducted that recruitment.
Hello, Steve Nersessian, Human Resources Analyst, Chair Devine, Commissioner Staff. We currently have 1 opening. There's a possibility of multiple openings coming out through retirements. The list is going to be good for 2 years to come, so we're hoping to go back to this list.
Okay, so for the 1 opening, we had 113 applications, 23 eligible?
Correct.
Wow, thank you. Sign of the times, I guess.
Likewise, I'd ask the same question for the other 2 positions, the budget analyst and internal auditor. Are there openings currently for those positions?
Yeah, Chair Devine, for senior budget analyst, there were actually 2 openings. So obviously the 2 individuals who met the qualifications and made it onto the list will get those positions. The senior internal auditor, just 1 opening.
Okay, and after today's budget hearing, they're still there?
As far as we know. Yes,
Okay, very good. Okay, we'll move on to the next item.
Agenda forecast.
Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, as you can see from tonight's meeting, we have a very, very light open meeting agenda. However, we have two items for closed session, which will be quite extensive. Our next 2 meetings, again, we will be dealing primarily with closed session items, but we will have, I'm certain we will have bulletins, specifications, and other business of the Commission, but nothing is apparent at the moment. As you can see from the report, the July 27th meeting, we expect to have our year-end report on advertising budget expenditures. And then approximately a month later, we'll have our year-end report on hourly employment. So with that, that appears to be our upcoming workload. And as you are well aware, we have many hearings that we're dealing with, primarily in the closed session realm. So with that, if you have any questions.
Word many scares me.
Just a quick note, for the first 2 weeks of August, my usual trip to Tahoe, I won't be here. Just as a note.
So you'll be missing the August 10th meeting.
Correct.
We'll note that. Thank you.
Any other comments on the agenda? Okay, move on to the next item, please.
Reports and information, past due employee performance evaluations.
And we'll ask Mr. Manukian if he'll go through that for us, please.
Okay. This is something that you used to do, and Mr. Gantis. We've got
Sign of the times, Mr. Manukian, sign of the times.
my demotion now. Okay, from what I see, we've got one first-time notices from the city attorney's office. Am I seeing that right? And two first-time notices, actually another one underneath for Community Development Department and Human Resources. Do I see that correctly? 3 first-time notices?
That is correct.
Okay. We've got 1 first-time notices also for Information Services, 2 at the library, and
Very good.
for second-time notices, wow, we've got 1 at the city clerk's office as a second-time notice. We got 1 at Community Service Parks and Department, and we've got another one. Oh, 5? Am I seeing that right?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Community Service Park Department, 5.
Third notice as well.
And 1 at the library as a second notice. Any third notices? Oh, yes, we do. Okay. Community Services and Park Department. We've got 2 third notices. How are you, sir? Nice to see you.
Commissioner Manukian, members of the commission.
We love you before you get started anyways, no matter what.
I am the guilty party. So I am behind, I've completed those evaluations, but
What are those evaluations?
those 2 third
Notices?
notices.
Yeah, but you got
those,
6 second notices and 14 first notices. Where are we with
well,
those?
there's nothing like consistency, Commissioner Ganis.
Just bringing it up. I'm just saying.
What do you call a man that strikes out half the time? Hall of Famer.
That's it.
That's right,
Nice
sir.
response. I got to give it to you.
Well, these 2 individuals were under the supervision of the recreation section. They got, when the recreation manager left, they went under the direction of the department head. The department head left, and then I was blessed with them. And I had them for 4 months, so I was really wrestling with how do I give them a 1-year evaluation in 4 months. In the meantime, I'm trying to open up 3 new parks, a swimming pool, all this month. So I'm behind. And I'm retiring on June 30th, so I suggest you fire me.
I think we ought
That's
to
my
fire him.
recommendation.
You're retiring?
But I'm not flippant about it. I've actually never been here before you for this kind of issue before. It's just, you know,
What was the
it's
part about retirement? Did we hear
June
that?
30. June 30, I retired.
Really?
30 years. Yeah,
Wow.
You've been with this city for 30 years?
30 years.
Absolutely.
You don't look that age. Although I did notice a
Did
few
I
gray
mention
hairs.
what a
Dick.
wise man you are, Commissioner? The quality of your thinking continues to improve.
Thanks, Mr. Ahern, all these years. Well, you have a very good retirement.
Yeah.
Well deserved. You've worked very hard for this city.
I've had the pleasure of working with you when you were at the Redevelopment Agency, and you're a phenomenal human being, I'll tell you that. Thank you for everything.
We'll miss you,
you've done.
Dave.
Thank you.
And get those evaluations out.
They're out. They're in the ether, and we are just going to get them signed and meet on Monday, and then they'll be in the files. And
Very good, thank you.
I will repent from my life of crime.
Okay, very good. Any other questions?
I do apologize. I
Good luck, David.
Good luck, Dave.
Thank
We'll-
you for
we'll
your
miss you.
30-year
The city will miss
services.
you very
Okay,
much.
bye-bye.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we're ready for the next item.
Civil Service Commission and our staff comments.
Any comments from commission, staff?
Yes.
Oh,
The last week, we lost a very valuable member of the community, William Plumley, the husband of former Councilwoman Mary Ann Plumley and former Executive Director of the Glendale Board of Realtors, former employee, Mr. Devine, Mr. Chairman of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Of course, you would know nothing about that. Bill was quite a guy. He was able to be an engineer and then move over into real estate, which are two diametrically opposed thoughts, and he did them both successfully, Mr. Devine. I don't know how he did it, but he was really a great guy. He was 87 years old, and he had been ill for quite a period of time. He was on oxygen, and his wife, Marianne, I marveled at her. She's a very dear friend, and I marveled at the fact that she took such wonderful care of her husband and yet was able to be successful in her own right in the area of real estate. So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that the Commission adjourn in memory of William Plumley for the many, many years of service he not only gave to the City of Los Angeles, but to the City of Glendale as well.
We will do that. Thank you, Mr. Gaddis.
And I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Plumlee when when he was at the Board of Realtors. Just a phenomenal human being and just a really nice human being to work with. So our condolences to Mary Ann Plumlee.
Yeah.
So he was an engineer and he was a very successful realtor.
Absolutely.
So there's a chance for our engineer from the City Council, Mr. Weaver, to be.
Did you want to be reappointed? I didn't just say.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gaddis. Appreciate those words. Next item, please.
Closed session?
Okay, I do have a question on that for our city attorney, or perhaps Mr. Doyle. I know the first item shown here is deliberation, and we will be reporting out on that. The second item will be a hearing that we're going to be commencing tonight on another disciplinary action, and I'm not sure whether we need to report out on that one, since it ordinarily would not be listed on our agenda.
No, members of the Commission, that would not be an item. I don't believe that you would complete your deliberations at that point, so there would be nothing to report out after the second one. You would after the first one. So you would recommence. It would not be televised. You would report out, and then you would adjourn and go back to the second item.
Okay, thank you. So with that, are we ready to go into closed session?
I think so.
Okay, can you arrange that for us, please?
We're done with the television portion, Mr. Chairman.